for the average working class Albertan, how would their day-to-day life change for the better? Salaries, taxes, affordability, general freedom, gun laws, gun rights, property rights. What does it look like for your average Albertan?
So as far as I'm concerned, gun rights are going to be the same as the U.S.
Okay, so the other night we traveled to Bonneville, a small town in northeastern Alberta, to attend an independence rally. The event happened earlier this week and it was hosted by the Alberta Prosperity Project, which is the not-for-profit organization leading the effort to have an independence referendum in the spring of 2026. I was impressed with the amount of people who showed up for a small town on a Monday evening. There must have been at least 400 people in there by the time the event started. After the rally, I had a chance to speak with Mitch Sylvestre for a couple of minutes. He's the CEO of the Alberta Prosperity Project, and I asked him some of the questions that I've read in the comments from this channel. Now, this was my first on-camera interview, so please bear with me.
All right, so we're here with Mitch Sylvestre, CEO of Alberta Prosperity Project. You guys have to bear with me. This is my first time interviewing people, okay? I'm a podcaster, not an interviewer. But anyway, we have 5 questions here that are asked by my subscribers that have to do with Alberta independence. The first one is, what does Alberta look like on day 1 after it becomes independent from Canada? Would there be a constitution? What would it look like generally on day 1 after it becomes independent?
I think we're going to have a constitutional conference, and on day 1, I think that's the most important thing to do. Get the people of Alberta to weigh in on what's going to happen. The government has to understand that everything is going to change, and that's going to be that's our path at any rate.
A constitutional conference, good.
Yes,
good.
And we have a constitution drafted.
Awesome, it's already there?
It's already there.
Got it, let me get that document.
And a Bill of Rights too. So what we're saying is that, it's a draft. It's going to be up for discussion, and that's the whole point of it, but it's a starting point, so people can say, okay, well, this is what we're going to do, or this is what we hope to do, and this is what we're going to do to ensure your rights and freedoms so we don't go back into the mess that we're in.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And then part 2 of that question is, what do the first 30 to 100 days look like? We're talking private sector, public sector, constitutionality, where you already touched on that, international efforts, international recognition, military. We're talking once we've already won a referendum, what do the first 30 days to 90 days, 100 days look like?
Well, I don't think there's going to be a whole bunch of changes in the first 120, even 6 months. It's going to be a process to get all that moving. And if you do that, then it's going to take some time. It's going to take 6 or 8 months. We're not expecting to all of a sudden have everything done. The government that's in power is going to have to help us get to where we're going. And Danielle has said she will respect the results of this referendum.
Yep.
So if she respects the results, then she'll be part of the plan going forward to make the changes.
So there's a lot of talk about having a figurehead or leader. Does this movement need a specific leader or a face who represents the movement? And have you had anyone come forward of notoriety besides you guys, the 3 that are leading it?
So here's the way that has to work. The people of Alberta have to understand that they have to be the face of this. That is a conscious thing that we're doing. The people have to understand that they lead this, it's for them, and they have to not only lead this, they have to continue to participate in a democracy moving forward. I don't believe that we want a politician of any kind to lead this. None of us are politicians, and I think that's a strong point as far as we're concerned.
We don't
have any of that kind of stuff. We're not corruptible. And right now, we're actually hoping that the people understand the fact that they have to lead this movement. That's all there is to it.
Grassroots.
We're going to need them after. This is top down. This is, I'm sorry, bottom up.
Bottom up, not top down. Yep. Grassroots led. That's the way to go. Okay, so here's another one for you, and we're almost done.
Yeah, sure.
Many of my YouTube viewers are from the United States and strongly support Alberta independence. They often ask how they can help. As a leader in the movement, yourself, the CEO, what message do you have for our brothers and sisters south of the border? And is there anything they can do to advance the cause from their standpoint?
Well, the easiest thing they can do is support us financially. That would be the best thing. They can't vote.
Yeah.
And so as a consequence to that, if they could support us financially, that would help because it's going to help us get the message out. We're absolutely convinced that once people hear this and understand this, that we will win this.
Oh yeah.
Because I really believe that there is only one side to this argument.
Once they hear the facts, yeah, it wins itself. And then the last question, what would an independent Alberta look like for the average working class Albertan? How would their day-to-day life change for the better? Salaries, taxes, affordability, general freedom, gun laws, gun rights, property rights. What does it look like for your average Albertan?
So as far as I'm concerned, gun rights are going to be the same as the U.S. Property rights, we're going to try and get property rights, because right now we don't have any. We're assuming and hoping, and it's going to be, we're working on the business plan right now, that we're thinking that Albertans will be 20 to 25% richer based on what they're doing right now. And that will give them more purchasing power and a nicer life.
Good, awesome.
And moving forward, it could get better.
Great things to hear. Things to hear. Thank you so much, Mitch. Happy for your time. All right, good to go.
Now, during our conversation, Mitch mentioned that a draft of a potential Alberta Constitution has already been prepared by the Alberta Prosperity Project, and we can expect to hear more about it in the days ahead. What I appreciate about the APP is that it's a citizen-led initiative. From the volunteers to the leadership, it's made up of everyday Albertans, entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, not career politicians. And honestly, that gives the movement more credibility in my view. At a recent event with Premier Danielle Smith, Mitch had the chance to ask her some direct questions about the provincial government's efforts to advance Alberta's interest. He also brought up some recent polling that shows support for Alberta independence hitting as high as 45%. The Premier responded by referencing polling she had seen showing around 35% ready to vote yes, 30% undecided but open to it, and 1/3 firmly opposed. Let's take a look.
Premier, thank you very much. I would like to thank you for coming again, actually.
Well, I'd like to thank you for organizing this again. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, as we were joking about, this is the third annual trip that we've had. And I remember the first time I said this was going to be our first annual, and it's turned out to be exactly that. So
It's
thank you for
true.
lowering the threshold of the Citizens Initiative Act.
Well, and thank you for bringing so many people to the AGM to propose that. We heard loud and clear that it looked like it was legislation that was designed to never be successful. And that really resonated with me. And the fact that in 6 years, we've never seen a petition campaign get started, let alone be successful. I think that people didn't even bother to put a question forward because the bar was so unachievable. So I think that you paved the way with some of the advocacy you did last year as well at the AGM. So thank you for that.
So I want to share with everybody in the room that we can trigger a referendum today with the support that we have. The polls are suggesting that up to 44% of Albertans support separation. If that's the case, Premier, what percentage do you think of that would be UCP?
There is a poll out by, I think, Angus Reid today. I haven't had a chance to look at it in detail. It has it a little bit lower, still higher than they were expected. It was about 36%. And I think it's 50-50 when it comes down to UCP voters, quite a bit lower when it comes to NDP voters. But that's, I think, it wouldn't surprise me in this room if we saw that same kind of split, that there's about 1/3 of people who are ready to go today, 1/3 of people who, well, it doesn't matter what the Ottawa will do, they want to stay part of Canada, and 1/3 that are open to being convinced based on whether or not we see action one way or the other. And so we're just trying to have that conversation. I think it's an important one to have. I fully appreciate why people are fed up after 10 years of being treated the way that we have, knowing especially it's almost all the same cabinet ministers who made these same terrible policies who are still there. I do understand that can be the case. However, I also know that leadership can change direction. I don't know if this particular leader will change direction, but we're going to find out pretty soon.
All right, thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Special thanks to those of you who have donated to this project. It is much appreciated, and it helps me continue making videos. See you on the next one. Peace.